Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I haven't seen you in a sweatsuit for a minute.
I felt like being casual today. And I'm kind of afraid this is going to be an original experience again, like my raspberry toast.
Which apparently is not, by the way.
I know. So I'm getting mixed reviews and I'm still feeling a little gaslit. But do you ever get out of bed in the morning and the way you prompt yourself to do this is to promise yourself that you can get back in? You're like, you can nap later or you're going to go to bed early.
I'm always negotiating with myself.
Complete negotiating like you wouldn't believe. I was like, am I a diplomat? Why is this? But I finally got, and Laszlo was so cozy this morning, right in my nook. And we were just like, she didn't want to get up. So I got up and put this sweatsuit on because I sleep in a freezer and I was so cold. And then I was like, you know what? Free will. I am going to wear my jammies to work today.
Sometimes in the morning, you just got to.
The way that you changed my life. And I used to not wear clothes after the pandemic. And then I started wearing them. And now I feel weird being in sweats.
There was somebody that always told me you should always dress cute and look good because you never know who you're going to meet.
Was it you, Teri Maloney?
The Teri Maloney.
Of course. Good mom advice.
Welcome to Disrespectfully,
Thanks.
Teri. Welcome to Disrespectfully.
With Katie Maloney
And Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
First time here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so she always told me that and I was like, ugh. But it's correct, especially, it just makes you feel better too.
oh, I'm actually shocked in my adult life how ugly I've been willing to be in public and like bad clothes. So who knows, maybe I have met the love of my life like a bunch of times and I've just looked like.
Well, if you think you look ugly now, you look beautiful.
Oh, babe, I mean, I have makeup on, please. Like I got it together, but sometimes I'm like really hoping that everyone just can't see me. Like I have an invisibility cloak because I'm so gross. But
the leggings are really getting a workout. The leggings. That's always a bad sign when your leggings are getting more of a workout than you are. And they're the workout leggings.
No, and then I'll go to reach for leggings to go to a workout class and I have none. And I'm like, where do these all go? Oh, this is because you're casually wearing them.
Yeah.
Like you're going to participate in fitness or outrun something. I don't know. Teri, how are you?
I am good. I'm happy to be here, here. And after this, I'm going to go to the sandwich shop. Looking forward to that. I always miss it. I enjoy it so much. I love the staff. I love just being there. It has such good energy, great sandwiches too. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
You can take the gal out of the restaurant, but you can't take the restaurant out of the gal.
True.
Yeah, tell us a little, because I know Katie said that you had a restaurant for like 30 years or
She ran a restaurant.
You ran a restaurant. So tell the people something they don't know about you. Do people know this about you, that you ran a restaurant?
Yes, I was general. I was general manager and partner in a Mexican restaurant in Park City, Utah. It is still there. Can I say the name?
Yeah.
Okay, Baja Cantina, right at the base of the resort, the ski resort. And it was great. I raised all my kids in the restaurant. So every one of them came and worked for me.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Everything except for bartend and manage.
But you knew how to even do that because the servers had to know how to make their own drinks as well, because I didn't always have a bartender on, like off season.
No, I never learned.
You never learned?
I mean,
you can never make a margarita?
No one wants me to make them a margarita because it's just going to be all tequila.
Well,
I made one for Fleur one time and she was like, okay.
Really? Seriously, still now? You can't? I didn't know that.
But it's not, I don't know how many ounces of what to put in.
She plays to her strengths. So maybe that's just not.
I can drink them.
Well, and everything was metered too in Utah.
Right.
Everything is metered. So
it like clicks.
If you pour a drink, you can't not make a correct margarita because everything was metered.
Why do we think that is it just because that's like a conservative area, or
it was a law in Utah?
Interesting.
Yeah, they were like very strict with the drinking laws there. But I did. So when I first got hired, I was an expediter in the kitchen because I was actually too young to legally work. But I wanted a job. I wanted to make cash money, baby. 13?
13.
Yeah. So just a little bit too young. And then I was a hostess and then I became a server, but like busing was incorporated in all that because sometimes, on slower days, you'd have to do all the things. There wouldn't be a busser on. So,
and I think we talked about this before on your other podcast because she was one of my best servers. And I don't say that just because she was my daughter. She really, really was. And so were Joey and Rocky. They were excellent. I mean, I taught them all. They're good with people. I'm so proud. It's really neat to see your kids to see their work habits, their work ethics, how they talk to people, how they give their customer service. It just, they're very personable, and I'm just so proud of all three of my kids. They all worked until, through high school, and their friends worked there. And we were just a happy family. And I always tried to make it a good environment. And I never played favoritism, right, Katie?
No.
She always had to, call me Teri. My kids couldn't call me mom, at least not on the floor.
I called you mom.
In the kitchen.
I feel like it would feel so unnatural that it would just happen by chance. Like, that would be so hard to, like, Teri.
Yeah.
What do I do with this table?
Well, maybe you called me mom more than, like, Rocky was really good about going, Teri, But it was good. I did that for 25 years. And I enjoyed it so very much. And it's not the only reason why I enjoy the sandwich shop, but I enjoy it now on a different level. I love just talking to customers and making sure they're happy. Everything's good. So
yeah, she worked at one of our favorite establishments.
Jumbo's?
No.
What?
Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my early jobs. Yeah. I think I was still in high school when I worked at Taco Bell.
Tell her what happened.
I got robbed at gunpoint.
Okay, this is the kind of content that people are looking for. So any more stories like this you have? Excuse me, how old were you? Tell us the details.
I was a teenager. I was like 17 years old. And
I was one of those like ones where you like walk up to the window. It's like right?
Right. And it was back in the days when it wasn't. Yeah.
So I've always wondered, because drunkenly not being in a car, I've tried doing that before. When the inside is closed and you go through the drive-through, I've tried walking up and they won't serve you.
There was no drive-through.
I wonder if that's why.
She's done that.
There was no drive.
Okay, but tell her this.
Okay, so I was working and it was late at night. It was not late, but it was dark. And a guy walked up to the window and I turned around and he had a gun pointed right at me. And I thought he was just kidding. And he did. He asked me for the money and I just kind of laughed and he cooked it. Oh my gosh. So I fumbled and got him the money and he asked for the money in the other cash register. There was two, because there was two windows and I was just there by myself. Someone had just gone out to take out the trash.
Oh.
So he probably timed it knowing that somebody's out. So I gave it to him and then he just grabbed it and ran. And I dropped down to the floor and I crawled all the way back to the office, because the office was in the back of the Taco Bell. And I was shaking. And just then I don't remember who I was working with. It was the guy. He came in and I was crying. I couldn't even tell him what had happened. I was so hysterical. But the police came and that was that. But that was a horrid experience.
And those were also
so
when like tacos were like what, 15 cents?
Yeah,
like how much do you think you're gonna give him?
What did you give him? $12? Like also I'm imagining this. He's like robs her for cash and he's like, and 2 cheesy gordita crunch. No, he didn't get a little quick meal on the
back then. There was only like 5 items on the menu. It was very generic. It was like tacos, taco burger or Taco Bell burger, burrito. There was only like 5 items.
So did you stay working there?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God, Teri, were you so scared to go back to work?
Yeah, I was, but I knew it wouldn't happen again. I mean, what were the odds, right?
And I think it did happen again to my brother Joey. Joey got held at gunpoint.
All the Maloneys are just getting robbed. Where did Joey get robbed?
Thank God. I would literally shit my pants.
Where did? He was working for a movie theater that was next to a bank
in Park City,
and where their office was, like there was like a kind of like a back hallway that connected a lot of the businesses, and so he was going up to the office or to one of the projection rooms or something, and a guy who was just robbing the bank came out the back of the bank and like pointed the gun at him and was like, "Get down."
I've had something kind of similar. It wasn't like a full-on robbery, and he showed me the gun. He didn't point it at me, but it was when I first moved to LA and there was a 7-Eleven. I mean, there's always generally a 7-Eleven walking distance, but it was like really walking distance. And it's back when Juuls were a thing. Mm-hmm. And am I saying that the first vape?
A Juul.
It was a Juul. Okay. I mean, you could get mango pods. And it was like after my first addiction, when I first moved to LA, and I had thrown it out and tried to quit. And I was like, I'm going to go get a fucking Juul. So I walk there and there's 2 other people waiting in line. So I just get right in line because they have it behind the counter. And this guy is shouting and he has a duffel bag. And he's really mad at the clerk. And it's something about, he had cash on him. So I still don't understand what was going on. But he was getting rolling papers, like those, the Swisher ones. And he's like mad at the guy for something. And he didn't want to pay for it. And then he pulled a gun out and he was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he like smacked the top of the counter with it. But again, he didn't point it at anyone. But he was so, I just look at the other people and we all freeze. And in my head in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get murdered because I was here looking for flavored air and my sister's going to be so pissed. I fully like saw my life flash before my eyes, and then he ran out, and then the guy ran behind and like locked the door behind him. So it wasn't like he didn't directly threaten me, but it scared me.
So you locked you in there too?
The employee locked him out, the guy out.
Oh.
Like, so he locked it so he could like, no. He left, and the employee ran after him to lock the door.
And you were
to
still
be like,
in there?
Yeah, to be like, I mean, I didn't want him coming back in, so I was fine with
I'd
it.
be like, I don't know.
It all happens so quickly. When it happens, it seems so surreal. It's like, this isn't happening. And then when it's done, it hits, like the shot, it just hits. It's like, I just got robbed at gunpoint, so when it's happening, you just kind of, I can't explain it, but you know what I mean.
When like I think it was around like pandemic time or something, when there was like all those like follow home robberies that were happening where people were following people home, and when they pulled in the driveway, they pulled in behind them and then like that was my biggest fear.
I know that as a real estate agent, because that's what I do now, they've always taught us when you're showing a home, don't pull in a driveway. Like when you have buyers, don't pull in a driveway because someone can come behind you. Your buyer, who's obviously not a buyer, he's going to rob you, because there have been real estate agents that have been robbed, but they can block you in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Also, not to be too paranoid here, this is turning into Dateline, but this is where I thrive. Also, when you go into your parking garage, you're supposed to wait until the garage closes to get out of your car.
Always do.
Because sometimes people can run in after you, and if you get out of the car and they come in under, like, that's where they come to rob you. At night, even for me, I wait till my gate closes until I get out of my car.
Well, I have a private garage, my own garage.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But that's what I do. I turn off my car, but I close the garage door with my garage door, until it's closed, and then
Taco Bell taught you something. Now you know. You're like, this is not happening to me again. Wait, how old were you? Were you a teenager?
I was a teenager, and back in the old days, nobody had debit cards. I mean, everything was paid for with cash. But with that being said, 19 cents this, 19 cents that didn't add up to a lot. However, you did each register started with a bank. So that you had enough cash to make change throughout the days. And we didn't I forget, there's a term for it now, where bleed them, or, we didn't pull cash out and do deposits throughout the day. Life lessons taught businesses to do that. That's why as I got older, I'd walk up, and you could say, we can't make change for a $20 bill after such and such time or something like that. Yeah. This is when people still use cash. Very few people.
I mean, the sandwich shop, we're cashless. So it's unless you're going to come in and you want a bunch of deli meat.
Well, they might steal all your Ollie-Pops. What are you talking about?
Oh,
they could get out of there with a boatload of stuff.
I know.
Bunch of Violas.
Or dirty chips.
It's funny to talk about. I just want to tell you guys, I really enjoyed, I think it was the last episode or maybe 2 episodes, when you guys got real nostalgic.
Oh, we were talking about mall culture.
Gosh,
we love nostalgic
I loved it. And it brought back so many of my memories too, like malls, and we hung out. We hung out in the malls when I was a teenager also, but our big thing was parks. We hung out at parks.
Did you get stoned at parks, or you were just doing good things? I've gotten stoned at many parks.
We
Have
were
you gotten stoned at a park?
I never.
Probably.
Yeah. I never got stoned. I wasn't a stoner.
You did try a weed once.
I tried it one time.
And what happened?
I got so paranoid. I didn't like it.
Because it was laced.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah, with opium.
Did you smoke a little dust blunt? Oh, you smoked a little dust blunt?
I was in my early 20s, and I thought, okay, I'll try it. And I didn't. Oh my gosh. I had to get up and go do the dishes and clean the house. I was at friends' house, but they were all enjoying and having a good time. And I'm cleaning away, trying to do normal things just because it's like, what is this? I don't like this feeling. And I never, ever did it again. I was always the DD with my friends because I never took drugs. I never, back when I was a lot younger, acid was a big thing. And I never, ever tried any, after that one experience, I never would. Well, just give me my wine and I'm fine.
Well, we are not the same.
We're not the same. There's an episode of Girls where I think it's called something about they're out in Brooklyn, but I think it's also called The Crackcident. But this one character is kind of tweaking out, and she's talking to her friends, and they're like, what's wrong with you? She was like, I had a glass cigarette in the bathroom, and they were like, babe, that wasn't a glass cigarette, you smoked crack. And she was like, no, it was a glass cigarette.
Oh,
Anyway,
no.
so that's kind of giving that.
Well, that's a good hometown hero from you, Mom.
You gave us a little hometown hero from you. We're getting robbed and doing dust blunts. By the way, I'm feeling a little nervous. Even when you say you listen to our show, I always like, and you know, like Nick's parents, when parent people listen, I'm always like, oh God.
I try not to think about it.
I try not to think about it. And now you're going to do this with us today. So,
Well, you have to understand that I'm a woman and I've been through all the same experiences that you two have.
Almost, except for
Well, some of them are, I have not. I've learned a lot through you guys also.
Yeah, no, when I was in
God.
Utah, my mom's like, I learned a lot. And then we had to explain to her what a queef was. That was cool.
Cool.
What was that?
A queef.
Oh,
where
yeah.
You fart out of your vagina hole.
I could not figure out that one. Katie had to explain it to
Teri,
me.
we're so happy to have you here to offer a different perspective. But also, look, you've never told me you got robbed before, and I've known you for many years. So I learned something new about you.
I
today.
actually forgot about that, but hey, that stuck with you.
I'm glad we
Katie.
didn't bring
It's
that
like my
trauma up
Roman
for-
Empire. I think about it all the time.
If my mom got fucking robbed at a Taco Bell, I would never shut up about it. Let me tell you, that would be my opening line in all.
Truly.
Are you kidding? That's a great
It's the
icebreaker.
title of my memoir. My mom got robbed at gunpoint at Taco Bell.
I also walked up to the drive-through because the inside was closed. Is that what you started to say?
She was drunk with her friend
I've
at their
done it.
high
I've
school
done it.
reunion and went through the drive-through
We
by
watched.
foot.
Yeah, and they would like, we're not serving you, and I'm like, please, I'm gonna die. I'm starving.
You start making car noises. You're like, vroom, 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 vroom.
And that's probably why they don't let you.
served us
She got that bean burrito.
a bean and cheese burrito.
Which,
Well,
Daddy,
let's hear. Yeah, Daddy, let's hear some hometown heroes from our listeners.
you're gonna read with us. So,
Oh, I
do you
am?
want to read the first one?
Oh my god!
Yeah, you go. Guest go first. You read, and then
I have to put my
we'll.
glasses on. Stephanie says, "Hey Dana and Katie, my name is Stephanie, VPR watcher since day one, and same with your pod. I truly enjoy listening to you both so much. Dana, I have experienced raspberry toe. Only one toe, if I remember correctly. It was over 45 years ago. It was a stucco bottom pool, so it was like walking on a nail, and I remember having one sore little toe at the end of the day. Have never been in that type of pool again, and it never happened again. I just had to let you know, I see you and your raspberry toes. I just never knew it had a name." I've had one. Katie, I have watched and noticed you grow into such a beautiful, emotionally intelligent, mature woman over the years. Oh, thank you. I am so happy you have found your happiness in life. I have also used your photos for hair inspo when I get it cut.
Oh.
Thank you. Thanks for what you both do.
So you had a raspberry toe.
So sweet.
Thank you, Stephanie, by the way.
The same thing on a pool.
I do think people who say they've never had one, I think they're fucking liars. But most people did not call it
If
that.
I've had one, it's been like once and it was so long ago I kind of buried it. But like Nick was like looking up pictures on his photo. He's like, "Is this what it looked like when you showed it to me?" And I was like, "No, it was like that was like a gash." It was like, where it's
Well,
like,
to be fair, we behave differently in pools, so I do bounce around a lot. So I get them. And the thing is, I called Brittany, my sister Brittany, after you were like, "I've never heard of this," and I feel insane. And I was like, "Brittany,
you
what
can't
does it
call
mean?"
your sister.
No, but I was like, "What does it mean to have a raspberry in your toe?" And she's like, "A little sore when you've been in the pool too long." And I was like, "Okay, I think that mom lied to us, and no one has ever heard of that name." But I think like 2 people so far have responded saying they heard the name, but most people know what they like have had them.
I've never
Yeah.
heard the name.
Yeah.
When you said it, I know what a raspberry, but I think what I would have described it more as I scraped my toe a little bit on the
but yours was only even a scrape. It was more like a little blister.
No, it's a little circle. It's a little red dot on the apex of the pad of your toe. So it's like the bottom of your foot, not the front of the toe. It's the bottom when you're like running around and doing pool culture.
or when
sometimes
you're
that
running on
happens.
hot cement. I've done that before, and you get a little blister. Yeah,
Okay.
not now. When I was younger.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Well, anyway, I wanted to include that so I could,
I like it.
finish the raspberry toe conversation. Shopping and planning for groceries really can be simple and stress-free. Imagine having your weekly cart filled for you with personalized picks, then shipped right to your door, taking all the work off my plate. That's why I love Hungry Root.
Hungry Root takes the stress out of grocery shopping by filling your cart with personalized selections that get smarter with every order. From smoothies and kid snacks to sweets, salad kits, supplements, and more. There's something for every taste and nutrition goal.
Whether you're gluten-free, dairy-free, high-protein, focused on gut health, or whatever else, Hungry Root helps you eat well. After a quick quiz, their smart cart technology recommends groceries and supplements tailored to your needs, like having a personal shopper that learns what works for you.
Hungry Root helps you save by reducing food waste and avoiding impulse grocery buys. Their best price program offers great value on over 100 popular products. And with our offer, you'll get a free item like a premium protein, veggie, or sweet treat in every box for life.
Hungry Root holds all of its food to high standards, screening over 200 additives like high fructose corn syrup, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners. They source top quality meat and seafood with no hormones or antibiotics, offer organic and non-GMO options, and stock trusted brands like Oatly, Vital Farms, Harmless Harvest, and so many more.
I recently ordered the lemon pepper chicken and cilantro lime rice, and it was delicious.
Oh, that's yum yum in my tum-tum. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully.
That's hungryroot.com/disrespectfully, code disrespectfully to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/disrespectfully, code disrespectfully.
Let's be real. I mean, it's all we do here. Navigating today's economy is a lot. Tariffs, tight budgets, hiring freezes, and don't even get me started on interest rates. But if you're building a business right now, I've got one move that actually helps you stretch your budget. Upwork.
Upwork is the hiring platform designed for the modern playbook where you can find, hire, and pay expert freelancers who can deliver results from day one. Perfect for business on tight budgets, fast timelines, and zero room for error.
Companies at every single stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in the way they staff key projects and initiatives by accessing global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web dev, AI, design, admin support, marketing, and more.
Freelancers on Upwork cost way less than hiring full-time or going through staffing agency. Upwork is convenient, cost-effective, and transparent. No subscriptions, no upfront fees. You only pay when you hire. Posting a job, free, fast, simple.
So if you're trying to stretch your budget and keep things moving, Upwork's got you. Never tried Upwork? Well, now's the perfect time because they're giving our listeners a $200 credit after spending $1,000 in your first 30 days. That's $200 you can put toward your next freelancer, design help, AI automation, admin support, marketing, whatever your business needs.
Visit upwork.com/save right now for this great offer. That's upwork.com/save to get a $200 credit to put towards your next freelancer to help grow your business.
That's upwork.com/SAVE, upwork.com/save. Don't wait. This offer is only valid June 24th through August 5th, 2025.
Diana says, airplane puke.
Oh, God.
Hello, Dana and Katie. Inspired by today's episode, here are my throwing up on plane stories. Yes, stories.
Ugh.
Story number 1. I spent my 21st birthday in the airport to go to my brother's military school graduation. Since it was my birthday, I had to have a drink, right? I ended up having a glass of wine at a sushi bar. I both don't drink a lot and I'm a lightweight, so mix those two things together and it's not a good time. I basically chugged the wine because I had a short layover and then had to run to my gate. I boarded the plane immediately, was feeling lightheaded, and my heart was pounding. I found a seat window to try to lay low. I guess the nerves of drinking before the flight while actually being tipsy on a flight caught up to me because after being seated for a whole what seemed like 15 minutes, I had to grab the barf bag and let it all out before we even started taxiing. And I didn't want to give the flight attendant my puke bag, so I just put it down by my feet. Ugh. Bless my seatmate's heart because thankfully he offered me some gum. Probably didn't want to deal with my pukey breath for an entire flight. Lesson learned for me. I will not be drinking before any more flights.
Please explain to me why wine is the most delicious elixir of all time when you're just like sipping it, but if you throw it back and you have to chug wine, it's poison. I mean, it's all poison, but you know what I mean? Like it tastes so different at the rate at which you consume it.
That's true. I don't know.
Why is that?
That's very true. I never thought of it.
Because like liquors, it all pretty much tastes the same. But
yeah.
with wine, I'm like, this is my favorite drink. And then I tried to chug it. If you're having to go somewhere and you like wrap it up. Ugh.
Yeah, it's rough to get down.
I bet that's why she puked.
Okay, story 2. I didn't know I suffered from motion sickness until I was halfway through a flight. Maybe it's the flying and not the drinking. I don't know. To be fair, I used to fly as a child and nothing ever happened to me, so I thought I was in the clear. I hadn't flown in years, so I didn't know my body wasn't used to it, or maybe it's a sign of me getting older, but cut to a very nauseous me in the middle of a flight trying to somehow make myself feel better. I was managing to do okay until we hit a descent, which threw my queasiness into a new level. I was too out of it to grab the barf bag, so I ended up throwing up in the aisle of the plane right as we landed. Oh, thank God it was when you landed. I flight attendant grabbed some kitty litter and sprinkled it over my mess to clean it up and announced to the cabin that someone had thrown up, just to be aware of it. To make matters worse, I was in the front of the plane, so everybody had to walk over my vomit to the plane. My apologies to everyone that was on that Southwest flight from Dallas to New York. Lesson learned. Now I won't get on a flight without taking Dramamine or a ginger capsule. Oh, ginger capsules. Thanks for reading my stories, ladies, and hope you have a great week. Disrespectfully, Diana. Throwing over the plane is the worst. There's nothing worse than being in a position when you like get the tummy rumbles or you feel nauseous because you're like, this is not a safe place for whatever's about to happen. My body's about to like retaliate.
Absolutely. Well, and also we always talk about things that are embarrassing that shouldn't be. And it's like, why is vomiting in public the most embarrassing thing of all time? Like everyone throws up. Everyone's had an accident. And it's just humiliating. I wonder if anyone listening was like, I remember that Southwest flight from Dallas to New York. And
if you have, right in.
Yuck. Faith says, hello, ladies. I'm now listening to your recent WWDD and Hometown Heroes episode. My fall was broken by my nose. And you guys requested bad Christmas morning stories, and I think mine is pretty brutal. Flashback to Christmas 2008, possibly. We woke up Christmas morning with lots of excitement as usual. I come from a big family, 4 kids and my parents. Unfortunately, we woke up that Christmas morning to find out our family dog had been attacked by other dogs out on our street during the night. My older brother, younger sister, and I freaked out so bad that we hopped in the car with my dad to drive an hour away to the emergency vet that was open, the only one on Christmas Day. We dropped him off in a really rough state and we're hoping for the best. Our usual Christmas tradition to wake up, open stockings, open presents, have Christmas breakfast obviously didn't happen that Christmas, but it gets worse. On the way back from the vet, my mom called in a panic. My youngest brother, he would have been around 3 at the time, was playing on a swinging chair hung upside down and it fell head first on our porch on concrete floors.
Oh, no.
My mom had checked up on him to make sure he wasn't bleeding from anywhere and that his head was okay. Wrong. He started to projectile vomit with blood in the puke. Obviously, that wasn't normal, so my mom called my dad. They had already planned to take him to the emergency room after we got back. My dad didn't even get out of the car because we pulled up to the driveway from the emergency vet. My mom and youngest brother jumped in the back to the ER, but this time for humans. My only aunt cousins lived next door to us growing up, so we went to Christmas lunch, came around, and we carpooled with them. My parents didn't make it to Christmas lunch until 7:30 p.m. They were at the hospital the whole day, getting CAT scans and concussion checks. Luckily, my brother was okay, but sadly, the dog didn't make it from the attacks of the bigger dog. We didn't find out until a week later because my dad was trying to spare us the sadness, but it was still sad when we think about it. Safe to say this Christmas was a rough one. Hope you ladies enjoyed this piece of childhood lore. Love you, mean it. XXX. So when I had requested those stories, I meant more like funny things in terms of like a toy flying into the fireplace, which I was like, I had to do it because I'm like, your fucking dog died and then your brother had to be hospitalized. So I'm sorry that happened to you. That what an exciting Christmas it was, I guess you could say. But
I wonder if like the emergency room was like less crowded on Christmas.
You know what? I would love a doctor or a nurse's input out there because I bet you anything, it's almost, my mom was really good at injuring herself on major holidays. Like Christmas one year, she went to grab a can and ripped her whole nail off. Another year, she maced herself on Easter in front of me and my sister. I was like 4 and I so distinctly remember it because it was on her keychain. She used to run. And so she dropped it. And when she dropped it, the locking mechanism became unlocked and she picked it up and accidentally pushed the button and sprayed herself
oh my gosh.
like an inch from her face. And me and my sister were there and like saw the whole thing. Anyway, that was fucking Easter.
Trauma. So. Well, I imagine because there's a lot of cooking that happens. There's probably a lot of kitchen type accidents, a lot of like burns, a lot of cuts. Like people, how many people slicing their turkey and cut their fucking fingers off?
But what about like kids getting new bikes for the first time?
Yeah.
You know, or getting those. Remember when they had those, you got one for Joey and Rocky. It was real popular.
Those, what were those like little, what do they call them?
They're like a skateboard, but you balance and you go.
No,
and there
it's
were
like
so many accidents.
Hoverboard.
Hoverboard.
No, what were they called? No, this was like maybe 10 in the last
Those were so
10 years.
dangerous.
What were they called?
I think they're hoverboards, aren't they? The wheel things.
The wheel that you just like.
Oh, those, you're cruising for a brute. I see people on those all the time. I'm not coordinated, but even the most coordinated person, I could see having trouble with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just like use your weight and hope for the best.
I like watching where the little kids, they like squat down and they're just spinning uncontrollably. Yeah.
Yeah, they fly into a wall. Like it's like, crazy.
Yeah, so needless to say, there was probably a lot more during the emergency visits during the holidays.
I love
especially Christmas.
when we're watching shows and they do holiday theme shows. So I want you guys to write in your holiday if you work in a hospital and you've seen some crazy shit. What do you see on holidays? Tell us about it.
Hi, Dana and Katie. I want to start off by saying how much I love the pod and the two of you. So this is March in Oregon on the beach, which means the weather was giving Titanic, but without the romance vibes. My now husband and I had just started dating, and our married friends, we'll call them Justin and Brenda, invite us on a camping trip. Justin plans the whole thing. He swears it's going to be fun. We're bar hopping, and halfway through the night, Justin's like, we just got to make a quick stop. Next thing I know, we're pulling into a storage facility. Interesting. He gets out, knocks on one of the units. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of something. Anyway, and the door rolls up to reveal a house party. I'm talking music, beer pong, the whole 9 yards, all inside this dusty-ass garage space. And who's hosting it? Some woman who was on The Deadliest Catch, like the fishing show. Somehow Justin knows her. Not funny.
Well, of course, somebody from Deadliest Catch throws a party in a storage unit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty on brand.
Brenda and I are not feeling it, so we drag the guys back to camp. We drink, play games, go to bed, all good. Next morning, I wake up to Brenda sobbing. Justin is gone. No note, no text, no nothing. We're looking for him, calling him, imagining the search and rescue helicopters. Over an hour later, here comes Justin, strolling back into the camp like he just took a little nature walk. We asked what happened, and he says, oh, I couldn't sleep, so I went back to the bar, and some guy offered me Molly. I took it and fell asleep on the beach. In March, in Oregon, on Molly, sir, that's hypothermia season. Justin and Brenda proceeded to fight for quite a while my husband and I made ourselves scarce. We finally head back to the campsite because we see Justin walk away to blow off steam, and I got the tea from Brenda. He admitted to her that he actually left to go hook up with the Deadliest Catch girl. That's what I was thinking. Whole camping trip, just his little sneaky way of setting up a booty call. So yeah, my romantic weekend turned out to be Justin's nautical Netflix the chill.
Netflix and chill.
Oh, Netflix and chill. I was looking up when I read that. Okay, that reminds me of so many
Tell
things.
us. What on
Reminds
earth,
you of things?
What the fuck does this remind you of, Teri? I can't wait to find out.
2 things. One, I don't know if I should say.
No,
but
say.
Katie, remember when we went into the storage unit?
Oh, God. Oh.
And there was a guy living in a storage unit.
I mean, so
In your unit?
no, so in the one that I go to. And the worst part is like his door was right by like the door that you enter in. And so at one time we were moving some stuff in, and his door was ajar. And first of all, when you walk past it, there's no power in there.
Right.
So he has to like have his door open so he can get light in there, and it smelled putrid.
Of course it did.
And we like the person that we were with kind of scooted the door closed, and he came out yelling at him, "Don't touch my door!" It's like,
yeah, he was like sitting on a little bench, and I think the second time he was like smoking a cigarette or something,
I don't know.
and
what
he had like a wife beater on, and it was like so scary. So the next time we went back, as we were making several trips, we did the other door. We had to take the long way because it was scary to pass them.
Well, yeah, because I was like, was he gonna grab you and drag you into his thing? Like, why? First of all, that's not legal.
And
no,
then
it's definitely not. It's not set up for plumbing, so of course it smelled. There's no way to keep hygienic habits.
And it's like, how do they not know that? There's cameras. There's lights that are like motion censored. So like when you walk in, if the hallway's dark, it'll like the lights will pop on. So I don't know how this
he got away with it with the cameras and all that. But he was very obviously living in his storage unit.
Crazy.
So scary.
What's your other story you not sure if you should tell? Because I want to hear it. And so do they.
Who? What?
When someone else went missing on the beach.
Missing on the beach? Who? Oh, Tom.
Why do I feel like it's short?
Yeah, no, we've talked about that. Like,
have we? I don't recall this story.
Oh, no, we talked. There was during the Ask Me Anything on Reddit. Because people always assume that Tom like went on a mission to go hook up with someone or go score drugs. And I'm like, the dude was literally walking on the beach with other people and walked too far and then cut up into like, because all the resorts are right next to each other, like in Mexico, and they're huge. And from the beach, they all look the same. So he was wandering around the grounds of this resort, and one of the maintenance guys was like, "Can I help you with something?" He's like, "Oh, I'm looking for blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "That's a
That's the
That's
resort.
and so he gave him a ride back. But like, no, Tom was not that clever in the moment. Not even that's clever, but like, that's just been like the biggest lore fanfic of like the show.
Oh,
that
the people,
and that pasta means Coke. And no matter how many times you say that, people still just want to. So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that actually sounds exactly like something Schwartz would do in
Okay.
terms of just getting lost and then meeting a maintenance man and having that person drive him back.
yeah.
Thank God it wasn't a serial killer, but like
Exactly, right?
It wasn't all night. It was also the same night that Kristen and James got accused of like hooking up because Kristen, James, and Tom were hanging out on the beach.
mm,
Yeah.
But I somehow knew as I was reading this how this story was going to end. You know?
totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terry, plug yours. This is such a good one though, and I'm like,
Plug my ears.
this is so upsetting. My
Okay.
worst nightmare.
You want me
your
to read this? Okay. Jody says Picasso tits. Oh no. This podcast is what I didn't know I needed. Please don't ever stop, Fierce Queens. I'm dying each week. 10 years ago, my then boyfriend and I were on an amazing trip in San Martin. We went to dinner at a delicious Italian restaurant. I ordered gnocchi with 4 cheese cream sauce. That night, after our romantic date and a few bottles of red wine in us, we got down to business. And when he released, he exploded all over my tits. Boobs, I don't know what to call them, huh? Regardless, that is a kink for me. His finale was so artistic. So I asked him in my drunken stupor to take a picture of his Picasso shot, pun intended. Oh my God.
Sorry,
The
Terry.
next day, while waiting for my boyfriend to get ready, I posted on Facebook about the great food and wine we had. Oh no. My best friends since grade 9 and me are always on the hunt for the best gnocchi with cream sauce. Of course, the picture of the gnocchi was included to make my BFF jealous. And the pic of us with our wine cheersing. I felt it fitting to tag her. I uploaded the post, giggling, hearing her in my head, salivating and calling me a bitch. As soon as I uploaded, my boyfriend was ready to get our taxi that was waiting outside. I grabbed my shoes to put on, and we were almost at the door when the calls and messages started to come. We both would not have cell service once we left the condo until we got to the bar with Wi-Fi at Maho Beach, 45 minutes away from us. My boyfriend got a phone call from his friend suggesting he delete my post. We couldn't understand what he meant and why because he was laughing so hard. The very next minute, we both were getting bombarded with messages from Facebook friends, coworkers, and family members, and everyone in between, and my BFF's family and friends because she was tagged. There were maybe a pic posted by accident. I needed to take down my post. I finally was able to pull up my post. The middle picture was Picasso tits. No face, but my necklace that I wear oh God, okay. The necklace she wears every day to identify me. I was so mortified and frantic, I could not figure out how to get it to stop showing people's feeds even after I deleted it. At the time, if it was in the feed, it stayed there but wouldn't show to people who logged on Facebook after it was deleted. Oh my God. I had to call my coworker and have him go on a desktop to ensure it was deleted. It is the most humiliating thing ever. Ironic that the post was about the great cream sauce, eh? I felt like it was bad karma for boasting about my gnocchi. Needless to say, I delete photos and always double check pics obsessively before posting on social media. Yes, he's my husband now. Dumb blonde Jody from Canada. Oh, that reminds me of the person with the family when they had like this racy photos that they project onto the TV for all the family to see.
I mean, that is just would be anyone's nightmare scenario. I mean, I always like triple check things, but I sent like sometimes when you're selecting photos, if you even lightly touch, it'll like grab a bunch of them. And I almost sent not that long ago to someone that I would not have wanted to send the photo of the content of what it was. You know how it like pops up in the message and you can just click send. And I just happened to scroll to right and I was like, I almost just sent a very incorrect photo I wouldn't want someone to see. And yeah, thank God I didn't. But this made me laugh out loud. And I really like the way you wrote it too, Jody. So thank you for making me laugh.
Yeah, sorry I kind of botched it. But would you rather send a photo like that to someone by accident or a screenshot of the text of the person to the person?
Screenshot of the text of the person to the person. What would you rather do?
Probably that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Terry, don't look at me. Oh, God.
This isn't the worst I've heard. This is not.
I know, but normally you're not in the room.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I can't.
That
we
was
can't talk about
that was
tits in
pretty
front of me.
mild. I mean, it wasn't one of you girls. So,
Oh, God. Okay, last one, and
I
then let's
enjoyed it.
answer some problems. We're almost out of the woods here. Jess says, "Hey, y'all. Love the pod. Love you both. Blah, 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 blah. It was 2005 and I'd started dating my now husband like a month prior. We went to Irving Plaza to see Every Time I Die, RIP, and we're having an amazing time. Some super tall, super jerky jerk pushes us to get ahead of us with his girlfriend, who he screamed at the whole show, and decides to stand directly in front of me. He must have heard me go seriously because he turns around and to my face goes, "Sucks for you, maybe you should leave." I'm sorry, sir, what? I've been going to shows forever and knew how to handle a dickhead. I decided to put a third piece of gum in my mouth, chew it up good, and then place it into his long hair. Thankfully, I used the excuse of him being pushed into him to mask me really pushing the gum into his hair. Was it a shitty thing to do? Yes. Was he clearly an asshole and deserved it? Also, yes. We're all assholes when we're 21, but this man was clearly 40. Thankfully, my now husband was okay with what I did, and I don't regret it. I hope the long-haired douche still tells a story about some bitch putting gum in his hair. Thanks for being you and doing what you do.
Well, I still tell stories about someone putting gum in my hair, so I guarantee you he is.
Yeah, I'm sure that he does. For some reason, I think it's not real, but have you seen, I can so distinctly see the video in my mind. There was a gal on a plane and she had long blonde hair and she had put her hair over the seat and it's someone's monitor was there. So her hair, I'm like, but what kind of person would ever do that? But people are freaks.
I heard it was like a debunk. It was actually like extensions that she was, you know.
They were doing it for, I feel like it was fake. So she was like pushing gum into like all over the hair. Oh. I don't know. That would be so crazy to me. So
yeah, because you don't want to get in that position where you're with somebody on a plane.
You're stuck in a tube with them. There's nowhere to go.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was saying in an episode recently, I've been seeing too much fuckery on planes lately. Like people are too comfortable having absolute freakouts. And if it isn't the 10% of them that are like mental health things and they're just drunk or high or whatever, I'm like, you basement, all of you.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I think because it's happening more and it's getting more attention, more media attention, people are doing it for attention.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
I just think that we're getting dumber as a human race. So people just really don't know how to function.
Yes.
In public, in society.
Or they don't care.
What I miss decorum, don't you? Decorum is so 2015. Thank God that's over. And now we can answer some problems and look Teri in the eyes again. Should we do some WWDD?
Let's do it.
Lorelai says, "Hello, ladies. Huge fan. Love having your podcast on while cleaning the house. Feels like a much needed girls chat. Also love the poop stories, but I'll save one of those for another time. So my problem and dire need of advice, I started talking to a guy on Hinge back in June nearly every day. We hung out virtually playing video games online before finally meeting in person. A month after dating and about 5 dates, he asked me to be his girlfriend. For reference, I'm 33 and he's 31. I've had 2 serious relationships before and he's only had 1 more casual girlfriend. After a month of dating and it being Facebook official, him talking about me meeting his family and vice versa, leaving clothes and such at my apartment, and even talking about planning a weekend trip together, he tells me he needs to take a step back from our relationship and that he feels he rushed into things with me. I'm heartbroken because I've never felt so validated and had such a natural connection like this before. I get he hasn't had much experience in the dating world, but why make things official with me just to take it back and go back to dating? I want to keep seeing him and I'm fine to take things slow and see what happens, but I'm also upset that he changed his mind on me being his girlfriend. Also super embarrassed to have to tell people we are no longer officially together. Have either of you been in this situation? What would you gorgeous, disrespectfully divas do? Should I keep dating him or send him to the basement? All the love, Lorelai from Pittsburgh.
I picked this one specifically because I wanted your take, but also you're here, so we're going to take your take too. What do you think about that? What's your perspective?
Send him to the basement?
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, absolutely.
Basement.
Okay, first of all, a red flag would be somebody who lacks so much experience in dating and committed relationships. Like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Especially you're 33. At this point, I mean, I know it's asking a lot for men to like step up to the plate and commit. But like truly that is such basement behavior. And you can't roll things back. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, like you just can't take a step back like that. It should have been talked about. Again, communication can always help avoid these types of situations to navigate. But yeah, that's basement. Do not go back to casually dating. It could be because maybe he met someone else and I don't know. These people just, they're so non-committal and unserious. So,
well, and it being 31, he's 31 and only having one casual relationship, it's like,
I agree with the tube and toothpaste thing, but I've actually had this almost exact situation happen. You know who I was dating for. We were literally, someone had asked me to be his girlfriend. We were literally on vacation together in another country. We're having dinner. We took shrooms, as one does. Plug your ears, Teri. And we're like having a good time. And he was he seemed like his energy was off. So I was just like, are you okay? I thought it was the mushrooms that he was like having a bad time. And he was like, yeah, I just think we rushed into a relationship. I felt pressured to ask you to be my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, who pressured? You literally asked me to be your girlfriend. What are you talking about? Like, and the conversation, this is full disclosure, what had happened is when he did, we were just talking about the differences between being exclusive and because we were at the time and having a relationship. And when I was younger, I used to subscribe to the like exclusive, non-exclusive before relationship thing. And now I would literally never do that again in my life. I am single or I'm in a relationship. Like there's no in between. And he took that as like, I need to ask you to be my girlfriend. I was like, what are you fucking talking about? We were literally having a conversation. There was no ultimatum. We were having a chat. I would never want to be with you. And then you asked me to go on this trip. You realize the trip that we're on in another country right now, right?
Yeah.
So he made it about that. And I was like, got really upset that night. And then he rolled it back in the morning and was like, I'm so sorry. I want to be with you. I don't know what I was thinking, blah, blah, blah. And then I decided to stick it out. And part of it was like pride because I had like told people and whatever and learned from my mistake. I should have dumped him and gone home. I was like looking at flights that night. It was like, should I just leave? And then we got back and he started acting up again and I broke up with him like a month later. So, or like 2 months later. But anyway, point being, take it from me, break up with this person, whatever his reason is for it. He asked you to be in a relationship and now he's scaling it back for whatever reason. That's very silly goose behavior.
They're not ready. Yeah.
He's not ready. Attachment issues, whatever it is, it's not your problem.
I don't know what it is about dating these days where people, it's like, there's like, oh no, we're just talking. What?
No.
Oh no, well, we're just dating, but we're not exclusive. You're either dating, single, or in a relationship. There's no like in between. Like, yes, you want to meet somebody, go on some dates, then figure out what you want to do. Like, I know for some people it's too much. Well, I don't know. I barely know. Well, you're not going to get to deep waters with people if you're just scratching the surface with them. So like, if you like them enough to pursue a relationship, you got to take that jump. But I mean,
hookup culture has ruined dating, honestly. And I think that exclusive, non-exclusive is part of it. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean you have to go on 3 dates with someone and be in a relationship. You can be casually seeing someone and getting to know them and deciding, but you're single at that time.
Yeah, until you're dating other people. And
so
unless you have that conversation of like, are you seeing other people? Assume that they are. It's safer to assume that they are than assume that they're not, in my experience as well. But if you want to know, ask.
We all need to lock in and decide that we're like not putting up with this bullshit that's been happening the last few years in dating.
Yeah,
so
no, that's exhausting. Like, yeah, with Nick, it was just basically like, I don't know, we were both, single. And then I was like, I want you to be my boyfriend. And
you were so much like me. I asked her dad to marry me.
Did you?
I proposed to him.
That's progressive.
I mean, why mess around?
I mean, we hadn't even been on a date. And I was like, be my boyfriend.
But you had known each other and conversed and had a good friendship and everything. And
you were literally traveling somewhere to see, you were on a trip with him. So that's not the same, but yes.
But you when you know. Yeah. I mean, there's no playing around. And I think that if somebody can't commit or say they want to be in a relationship, a committed relationship, then they really don't feel the chemistry. It's not meant to be.
Also, this is the whole like male loneliness epidemic. This is where that comes from. So they do shit like this and then they're like, we're lonely inside. And I'm like, yeah, because we have all raised the bar of like what we expect and we're no longer putting up with that shit. So
yeah, and they call women females, which is
oh God.
Anywho, I hope that helps.
Hope that helps.
Okay, Brittany says, hi, I love you guys so much. I appreciate your humor and sincere interactions with your writers. I'll get right to it. I was with my ex for 7 years in my early 20s. He was mid 30s. I opened a credit card in my name and made him an authorized user. Huge mistake I've learned from. Huge. He was a terrible partner. He was lazy, unmotivated, cheated on me, and made himself out to be a lot better than he was around his peers. He was very depressed, drank a lot, but loved to seem like he had it all, knowing deep down that he was just an insecure guy who never got the love he needed growing up. I definitely had so much sympathy and tried hard to give him that, but it seemed like it was never enough. He was angry, not a good partner, and definitely tried to dim my light, but was never fully able to because I generally am very happy, positive person overall who works hard for all I have and just want to have fun and live a good life. I think he hated that. Of course, I ended it after getting fed up with all the nonsense over the years. After we broke up, my life completely changed for the better. I met the love of my life. My career as a hairstylist / business owner took off, and I couldn't be happier. I manifested all these things for myself, and just wow. I look back and hate that I was in a shitty situation for so long. Recently, out of nowhere, he racked up $9,000 on that old card and stopped paying it. He agreed to pay after we broke up and had been for 2 years. Since I'm the account holder, the debt is my responsibility. He's blocked me, so I can't contact him on anything. I have no idea where he lives or works at this point. Now I'm torn. Do I just pay it off and focus on my happy life or try to get some revenge? Should I tell his family what he did so he can feel some kind of shame or let his own miserable life be the revenge while I keep thriving? I don't want to give him the satisfaction of knowing he upset me, but I hate the thought that he thinks he got away with it. Take the high road or do I do something? I'm definitely a high road type person, but my blood boils when I think of him thinking he got one over on me. I agree with you, but I say do both.
Yeah, you can do both.
You can do both. You know what? Pay the debt and then send like the notification of like the money's been paid off to like him and his like friends and family and just like, I settled your debt. Have a happy life.
I like that one.
Also, $9,000 isn't negligible. So for me, I would actually pursue small claims court first. And I know you don't know where he lives or whatnot, but you can find that information out. So that's a way to tell the family and friends, be like, by the way, I'm taking him to court. Like, I also understand, look, if you have the $9,000 and that's easy for you to take care of, then yeah, just pay it off and then put his shit on blast. But I would try to recoup that first.
I mean, like, yeah, your energy still is currency. So like if you have the means and are able to, but yeah, you got to be able to serve him somehow. So
yeah, but also blow up his spot. Let everyone know how embarrassing he is. Are you on TikTok? Make a TikTok. People love that shit.
Oh yeah, make like a 10-part series about it.
I'll be watching. Go ahead and make one. Is that what you would do, Teri?
I would take the high road. I would pay it just to relieve it from my head mentally. But I'm kind of a little bit of revengeful spite.
Yeah, like they can wreck your credit. You got to get back at them.
I would do something like blast okay, paid in full to, family and friends or something like that. And then be done with that. The small claims court to me would cause a little bit more anger. And, just pay it if you can. Let it be done, but get a little bit of revenge. Yeah.
Love that. What are your big three, Teri? Do you know them? Your sun, your moon, your rising? What's your birthday?
She's a Scorpio.
Scorpio.
And my sun, my moon, and my rising are all in Scorpio.
You're a triple Scorpio? Oh, I love when people are a triple of whatever their sign is. Wow. Okay, that's incredible.
She's fiery.
That's the thing is like, I just know you as being so sweet, so I couldn't even picture you being vengeful, but
I've really mellowed out as I've gotten older. I've learned lessons hard. You take life's lessons and you grow, and I've just learned to just not take everything so serious because there's so many things that are serious in your life and so many things you can't have control over or handle. So those things that you can and maintain. But yeah, I'm a little bit revengeful, just a tad. In a nice, just to satisfy my mind and move on.
Can I tell a quick Teri story that I was just reminded of because I still don't have feeling in this knuckle from when I cut off. You remember that? Like it was like 6 years ago. I cut off part of my thumb knuckle, and it was healing. And me and Teri love to dance. It's our thing. And we were dancing in you and Tom's old place. And you grabbed my thumb, like you were trying to grab my hand to dance, but you didn't realize that you literally grabbed and it squirted blood everywhere. And I was like, Teri. And you're just dancing, not knowing. And then you let go and I got blood all over their light floors. So I'm sorry about that. Obviously, it didn't affect the sale in the end. But we were all a little lit that night, I would say. And so my blood was also probably thinner than it needed to be.
You're a good dance partner, though.
You're a good dancer. Yeah. I love dancing with you.
I know. We've got to go dancing.
We should. Yeah. We should go dancing.
We could just dance in Katie's at Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. There's room for that. Yeah. Anywho, okay. So Lauren says, hi, Katie and Dana. Love you both so much. Spoiler, my downstairs neighbor from hell is finally moving out. We got off to a rough start when I moved in 3 years ago. When the first 2 days of moving in, she complained to me in a very nasty tone about the noise I was making without even introducing herself. Since I was still in the process of moving in, I was still pushing boxes and furniture around and only ever during the day. So I kind of brushed it off and told her that I try my best to keep it down. For the next few years, she would relentlessly bang on her ceiling to tell me to be quiet when I was doing kind of normal stuff, watching TV, having sex mainly. And at a certain point, I felt really restrained. I literally couldn't ride my boyfriend at a normal speed without her bashing the ceiling and killing the mood. She even texted my landlord about it directly after, which was awkward, but ultimately led to my landlord buying a $200 rug for under my bed. LOL. I also had to start watching all my shows with subtitles, especially in the summer when the fan was running, or she'd bang at me for how loud the TV was. I guess I don't mind the subtitles, but it still started to feel a bit excessive for normal noise-making hours, yet I'd always turn it down. Alas, every morning after I committed a noise infraction, she would repeatedly slam her rolling closet door shut as early as possible to get back at me. I know it was intentional because it wasn't every morning and I could hear the noise of her closet doors otherwise. I've gone down there a few times trying to talk or extending an olive branch, but she was just downright cold to me. Full transparency, I'm aware I'm not completely innocent. We're both Scorpio. Oh, I didn't even plan this. We're both Scorpios. And also, if you hate someone, how do you know your neighbor's birthday that you hate? That's so funny.
Yeah.
So I can get real petty and stubborn too. After a while, I decided to fight back at her more unrealistic complaints. She'd bang at me to turn the TV down, and I turn it down. But with only a swift stomp of my foot, I'd nearly shaken the foundation. That would shut her up real quick for at least a few days. If she slammed the closet door shut at me in the morning, I get her that night. Yeah, I know I should have been the bigger person, blah, blah, blah. I know she probably thinks I'm the upstairs neighbor from hell, and it's never great being on the bottom unit, but a little noise is kind of expected in these old, horribly insulated LA apartments. I think she just didn't offer me any slack, and in return, that's why I'm bothered. Any WWDD when it comes to new neighbors. I want to offer a clean line of communication, but I don't want to go straight into giving a stranger my phone number, which I've heard horror stories of how it could be used and abused. Katie and Dana, please help me be a better neighbor. Love you, Lauren. The thing is, the phrase "don't shit where you eat" comes to mind for me when you're dealing with neighbors, because sometimes it's never going to be a pleasant situation and you guys are never going to be able to work it out in the remix. But I typically try to keep things kosher as long as I can. And I also am aware that she was a dick to you and got off on the wrong foot, so you responded that way. But I would definitely try first. You don't even have to necessarily give your phone number, but even if you leave a note and just say like, "Hey, I'm in this unit. I, feel like there's been some tension, whatever. I want to be respectful of each other's spaces and blah, blah, blah." Try to get it going on a nice foot. And then if you can't, I would say like she did involving the landlord, because it's just going to blow up and become something contentious like this. So try to do unto others as you want done onto you when it comes to a neighbor. But then sometimes there are crazy. I've had really bad neighbors before. Like I had never had a problem in my building until like 3 years in. The people like Skrillex moved in above me. And at 3 a.m, I think I've talked about this before on a Tuesday. And they had this like community security thing. And I'm not afraid. The second I hear that, I call it, and they've gotten several fines, and then they finally stopped. So you have resources like that to happen to them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes with the neighbor stuff, it's just not much you can do. There's some people that really shouldn't live underneath people. They shouldn't live or they shouldn't share walls. They should probably live in the forest alone. If you're that sensitive to noise, you really need to like think about your own quality of life and how you can be better suited for it. Because just regular living noise, like maybe like some footsteps here and there, maybe like every now and then if someone's like moving or have to rearrange something, that there's going to be light noise of just moving, shuffling things around. But when it's just like inconsiderate, stomping, slamming, just like living really hard, that's when it becomes difficult. Like, so for her to be slamming her closet shut, I don't know how you get through to people like this, because these people are usually just evil, rotten people anyway. And I don't want to suggest moving, but like, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to reach a point with these people. I mean, there's only so much your landlord can do. And your landlord lived in the unit, so she knows. So I don't know. I don't think you can evict somebody just because they bang on the ceiling.
No, and to be fair, like you said, if you're living in apartments and community living, there's just a level of things that you have to deal with. It comes with the space. I live underneath. I'm on the first floor, so we know.
Yeah, but it was incessant. Like it was every 5 minutes all day long, from early morning to late at night. So like, and there turned out to be a reason for that. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta let people know, like, hey, I'm not sure you're aware. Like maybe throw down some rugs. Like if you have a hardwood floor, don't stomp around in heels. Throw down some rugs. Don't drag stuff. Like once you become more conscious of it, you don't have to think about it so much.
and don't beat on the ceiling with the broom until you've tried to reach out and have that communication, because just like you did, and he wasn't aware that whatever was going on was making that kind of a noise, and it was sort of resolved. I mean, as best that they could, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also it became more a consideration on their part to try,
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't live like
It seems
that.
like you've done everything. You have the rug, there's not much you can do.
Also, she didn't write this in as an, am I the asshole? Oh my God, that's so funny. The next one's that. But no, you're not. If that's what you're asking too. It seems like you're a pretty good neighbor to me and you tried. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hope that helps. All right.
That'll do her.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do. Sorry we didn't get to all the WWDDs, but hope you enjoyed anyway. Thanks for coming, Mom.
I had fun.
Did you have fun?
I did. Yeah.
Did you love it?
I love it.
And now sandwich
I love
night.
you
Do you
guys.
have a little set schedule when you're in town, or do you just go for as long as you want? Like, how long do you typically go when you go to the shop?
I'll go as long as they need me, as long as it stays busy. Like generally Saturday and Sunday, they're longer days.
Right.
I enjoy it. Yeah, I look forward to it.
What is your favorite sandwich?
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to ask me that. I have 2. I actually have 3. The
name
Kate, which is probably my all-time favorite, and I have them doctored up a little bit with extra this, little the Reese, and then believe it or not, my other one is they make a great grilled cheese sandwich. I know it sounds so basic, but I'm a grilled cheese sandwich person. And they make it pressed like a panini, and it's so flavorful. Love it.
I love a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
If I see grilled cheese and tomato soup on a menu, I'm
Mhm.
getting that.
Hell yeah, brother.
I love it. So, and I'm struggling mentally with which one I'm going to have today.
My hyperfixation right now is the Viola. It's I get one thing I like everywhere, and then I just get it and get it and get it until I hate it, and then I move on to the next thing. So just how I am.
Me too, as well.
I'm jealous you're getting one.
Come see.
I know I don't have time today. I was like, I should stop by, but
Yeah.
out in WeHo.
Well, there's always tomorrow or the next day.
That's true. Or the day after that.
Well,
Or
no,
even the
because
day
we're
after
closed on Monday.
Nope,
so
never mind.
See, and you're here, and so I have to get my sandwich fix every day that I'm here, because then I go back home and I love a good sandwich, and I crave it. I crave it. So choices, but I know I can have one today, one tomorrow. Then I can do it.
Well, you appreciate a good sandwich and the occasional revenge, so I definitely believe that Katie Maloney is your child.
She is. She is me. She is my child.
she is my kin.
The hair and the gorgeous cheeks.
Yeah, well, that'll do.
That'll do. Okay, I guess that's episode.
Until next time. Well, write in your hometowns and WWDDs to disrespectfullypod@gmail.com.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.